Hi everyone and welcome back to Canva. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through on how we can create a printable. So these are the documents that you can print. Let's say, for example, a worksheet, a planner, or a guide. So I will walk you through on how I do it step by step, and this is still going to be branded, so I'll have to use my brand color so you guys can see it too. So let's start. I usually just work with an A4 document because that is like the standard size of a paper. So yeah, I'm gonna use an A4 for this video as well. So first, you can actually see a lot of templates available here in Canva that you can use right away. So all you have to do is just change the text, the font, the size. So most of them have multiple pages. Let's just say, for example, this one is an annual report, so it has like 3 pages that you can choose. And then some is just 1 pager, so just like this. Right, so you just choose a template that you feel like resonates with your brand or with your copy, then get started with that one. Or in my end, I usually do them from scratch. Okay, so and here's how I do them. So since this recording, I'm gonna show you how I do a worksheet. It's like a form, so I have like several questions, then a space where I can write in my answer, and then I'm also gonna do a planner. Okay, so let's get started. So my number one tip right here is when you're doing your printables or documents, the best practice is you put your zoom into 100% view, because this is like how it will look like in real life once it's printed. Okay, so let's start with that. Okay, this is going to be branded, so I'll be using my colors, but since we are printing this, I wanted to make sure that there's not too much color as well, so I will try to stick with black and white, then just some of my color to accent the document. And then I'm gonna use a logo. Where's my logo? Come here. Okay, here. Right there. So I'm just gonna close that one out. Okay, there you go. Alright, now I'm gonna put in my title. So I'll just make this up. Let's just say my daily worksheet. Okay, so and change this to my brand font, which is the Hello Pretty. Okay, there. So we got that up. Let's make it bigger. I'm gonna change it to 28. Okay, there. Right now, let me start with my paragraph or with my question. The standard size for a body text is 14 or 12, so I'm gonna use 12. Then left align. Okay, I will be using a text filler, the lorem ipsum. So guess I don't have any questions or ideas in mind right now, so I'll just use a text filler for this video. Okay, so there goes my text. Wait, that's like a lot, so I'm gonna delete some of them. Okay, and adjust this. Okay, make sure it's centered. There you go. There goes your grid or your line. It's an indicator that it is properly centered. Now I wanted to make sure that my spacing is consistent, because Canva is not like Word document that you can control the spacing. So this one, it needs to be done manually, so we'll do like some sort of counting. Okay, and how I do this is I place it right next to each other. Okay, so right now I wanted to make sure that the elements are sitting next to each other, and you'll know that they are really next to each other if this broken line, red broken lines appear like that at the center. And then I'm gonna press shift, I'm gonna hold my shift key and arrow down like 3 times, so that's going to be 30 pixels space between the title and the first paragraph, because holding shift and arrow down once is equivalent to 10 pixels. So moving like shift, arrow down, arrow left, right, or up, that's going to be 10 pixels. So I'm gonna do 30, so I'll press it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's enough space for me. And then now I'm gonna do the box where I can put in my answer. So once this is printed, I need to have like a box where I can put in my answer. So let's go to elements and then pull up square. Okay, this one. Okay, notice how thick your square is. Now here's the trick. When you click on the square element, you'll see dots on the corner and on the sides. So moving them from the corner will reduce the thickness of your square, and moving them from the side will adjust its height and width. So corner thickness, side is your dimensions. So I like it to be as thin as this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna change the color to pink to be consistent with my brand. Okay, that one. Also make sure it's properly aligned. Take note of your red lines. These are your guides. Okay, so right now it's properly aligned on the left side, and right now I can see that they are sitting next to each other, so that's perfect. I'm just gonna adjust this one right here and make sure it's also aligned. There you go. Now since they're already sitting next to each other, I wanted to make a space between the question, the paragraph, and the box with just 10 pixels. So I'm just gonna press shift arrow down once. There you go. Then for your next question, you can just make a duplicate and then put it right there next on the box, and then I'm gonna do 20 pixels on this 1, 2, and then let's just say my question is just really short, like up to this one only. Then I'm gonna duplicate again the box, duplicate because duplicate is the safest way to make sure that your box gets the same height and width all the time. So I'm gonna put it again right here and then do the spacing. So our space between the question and the paragraph is just 10 pixels again, so just do one shift arrow down there, and then I'm gonna do another question. So I'm gonna duplicate that, okay, and then spacing for the next question is 20 pixels, so 1, 2. This time I want it really long. It's like going to be a long question. Okay, so I'm gonna copy the whole thing and put it right here. Okay, so we got a long paragraph now. Let's just copy again your box, duplicate, put it right next to your question, and then make a spacing of 10 pixels, so just one shift down. So pressing shift one down, I'm sorry, yes, pressing the shift down once is 10 pixels, so that's it. Okay, now let me show you how it will look like. Alright, there you go. So notice how the spacing are consistent. Okay, because if you do just like your mouse, you won't get the accurate spacing, and once it's printed, they might look really awful. So might as well make your spacing consistent on all of your elements to give it a professional look, and it looks really clean once you're done. Okay, so now we've used boxes for our answers. How about if I wanted to do a line? Sure, let's do a line. So I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, spacing again of 20 pixels. So 1, 2. That's 20 pixels. And then this time I'm gonna pull up a rectangle. You can actually just use the line from your elements right here, and then click on go to lines, and there's your line. Here it's color gray. However, when you do this, you cannot really it's kind of hard to adjust the thickness. So what I do, you can actually just do it like that. Let's change the color to pink. Okay, so I'm gonna make it really thin. Okay, there. Okay, so that's one way of doing your line. You could also do a line by using a rectangle. So pull up a rectangle, change that to pink, and adjust it like this one. Bring it all the way up. But let me just adjust first the width. Okay, like that one. That makes it really thinner than the first line that we did. But let's just do the first line that we've created. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right here next to the question, and then the spacing of 10 pixels, remember. So that's 10 pixels. Now I'm gonna make a copy. Let's just say, for example, I want to make 6 lines, so let's put it right next to the first line and do maybe 20 pixel spacing. 1, 2. Okay, that's good. Put this back right there, and then 1, 2, and then make a copy again, and then 1, 2. Alright, so we got 4 lines already. Now since you have 4, to save time, you can just duplicate 2 of them and then do the same thing. There you go. So you get now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. Now to make sure they are they don't to make sure that they won't, you know, get separated, or the other one gets you won't move them by accident, so you group them. There you go, group them. And then if you need more lines, then you can just easily duplicate it by set. There you go, you have now like a set of lines. Alright, then for printing, there are 2 ways to save this. So for printing, you can just save this as a regular PDF, which gives you a resolution of 95 dpi. But if you wanted to get a really high resolution, make sure you download it as a PDF print. This is the suggested or the recommended one if you are doing if you're going to print a Canva document. So that will the resolution will be 300 dpi. So that's the highest resolution that we can get. Okay, so we're done with the worksheet. Now I'm gonna do a planner. So what if I wanted to have the same heading like this one right here? So all I do is just click on that, shift, and then click on the other element that I want to copy, Control C, move to the second page, Control V, and it will make a copy of exactly where the elements are. So let's make sure that they are really on the same place. See, the lines on the first one and the second page they are properly aligned. So once you copy and paste an element, it stays on the same place. Okay, so here. Now I'm just gonna copy this but change this to planner. Let's say daily planner. Okay, there. Now let's just say, for example, I want to do like, I wanted to make like 2 columns, so let me get a rectangle, put it right there. So the other end, okay, here. Change this to a lighter pink. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, and then make a duplicate. Okay, make a duplicate and then put it right next to each other, then create a spacing. Create a space, shift arrow right of 10 pixels. Now to make sure your boxes are centered, group them, or just highlight them all at once, then put them on the center. There you go, they're now centered. Let me just make a spacing of 30 pixels from the title or from the header. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this now will serve as my guide too. So okay, I'm gonna, let's just say this is, yeah, okay. Then I'm gonna make a duplicate. Okay, and then a space of 10 pixels, or you can actually just create a space of 3 pixels. So instead of pressing shift, just press arrow down. Pressing arrow down once is equivalent to 1 pixel, so I'll do 3 to get a 3 pixel space. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna make this bigger. Okay, there, and I'm gonna change the color, let's say to this one or something lighter, maybe this one. Okay, then I'm gonna do the same on the other side, but this time it will be easier because you'll have your guide there, your lines. So if you see a red broken lines at the center, that means it's properly centered, properly aligned. Okay, just like this one. Okay, there. And then I'm gonna bring in a text, so let's just say I'm gonna write here, let's change that to 18, say daily goals. And then I'm gonna make a copy again. Always make a copy to make sure all of your text is at the same size, font and spacing. And then right here is your motivational quote. To motivate you for that day. Okay, we can make this a little bigger. Then you can just keep it as is. And then this time, since you already have like multiple boxes, you can just easily group them and make a copy. So the spacing again between boxes will be 10 pixels. So that one, let's just say this one is your notes, and group them so you can make this really long. so that's for your notes. And then I'm gonna make this longer and then create another one. So group, duplicate, space of 10 pixels. There you go. And group, so I can make it, so I can adjust this box, place it right there. And then this one maybe could be schedule. Alright, so let me just look at it as a whole page. So let's see. Alright, there you go. There's your daily planner. Okay, so again, you save it as PDF print if you wanted to print the document. So that's how you make printables, making sure again that all of your alignment and spacing are consistent. Let us know if you have questions. Thanks for watching.